Hi, everybody. Welcome to the last episode of 2024. Can you believe it? I think I've been talking about 2025 for so long that when I was prepping for this episode, I put my goals for 2026 because it's like felt like 2025 for a long time. But I can't believe so on January 9th was the first time that I started planning for my first episode. And I need to figure out the date that my first episode came out. But I believe I recorded it on the 9th. So it's almost been a full year since Workflows and Espressos started. And it's been truly so much fun. It has been a challenge in so many ways. I feel challenged every week to come up with new content. It's been so fulfilling to come up with content on a weekly basis and to have conversations with new people and ask them questions, and I don't know, it's been this really cool creative outlet over the past year of my life that I'm so thankful for. And it's also introduced me to a really cool new community and of listeners, of people that I've never met before that reach out to me on LinkedIn or that I talk to at conferences who say that they listen every single week, which feels completely crazy to me that people would listen to my voice for one singular minute. But apparently you do. So I want to thank you for 1 year of Workflows and Espressos. Next week's episode, we'll do like an actual 1 year, and I have some exciting news to share. But without further ado, the last episode of 2025. So every year, aka last year was the first year I did this. So every year, beginning last year, I got a journal, and it's hard for me to keep a journal consistently. But last year I got one and I made an entry into, and it was more like manifesting things that I really wanted to happen in 2024. And so for 2025, I have a list of goals that I hope to accomplish, and some are personal, some are professional, some are kind of both. And I'm excited to go through them with you today. So if you aren't into goal setting, this could be boring for you. If you are, come on in, sit down, and let's get into it. Okay, so my first goal for 2025, and I will tell you these are not in order of importance. This is just kind of in order I was thinking about them and started writing them down, is to be more present. And I feel like this is likely on most people's list of goals, but I too struggle with high screen time and just overall distraction. I've joked before that I have ADHD, and I definitely do. It is really difficult for me to focus on a singular task at once because I am including like conversation with one person because I'm always so focused on what the next thing is. And that is, I was reading that some personality types really think about like the past, and then some personality types really think about the future. And obviously, neither is great. I am someone who is always thinking about the future. I'm always thinking about what I'm going to do next, what I'm going to eat next, what I'm going to wear tomorrow, what time is this and what time is that. And like near future, far future, it doesn't even matter. Like I have anxiety about the future. I am dreaming about the future. I'm excited about this thing I'm doing in the future. And what I find is that really takes me away from being present and thankful for what I have in this very moment, and also paying attention to what I have in the moment. So I really, really, really want to focus on being more present in 2025. And I think that it is harder to do the more technology evolves and the more things we have to keep us distracted. So think about me and my goal. And if you are also trying to be more present in 2025, reach out to me and we can be accountability partners. Okay, with that being said, I really want to work on listening to understand rather than listening to respond. And I think I might have learned this in therapy. I honestly don't know. A friend told me about it several years ago. The difference between listening to understand somebody versus listening just to respond. And I, as someone who is moving pretty quickly, can find myself listening to respond or even being like, okay, well, when's the next time I'm going to talk next? Which is embarrassing to admit. But I think self awareness is the first step. And I think what makes a really good listener is when they are working to understand you and really pay attention to what you're saying. So in 2025, starting now, even so as I'm recording this ahead of time, I really want to focus on really like being present, of course, in my conversations and not thinking about what I'm going to say next, but thinking about how I can support the person talking and really be there for them. And whether that means giving advice or whether that just means listening. And I think that truly will help me be a better leader, a better wife, a better friend, a better coworker, and all of the things. So, listening to understand rather than listening to respond. Number 3, I pretty much have said this, I don't know, 1,000,000 times, and I bring this up on a lot of my episodes. And an old boss of mine, one of our core values was to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And as a natural people pleaser and someone who doesn't love conflict, I really struggle with this feeling of being uncomfortable, whether it is confrontation or standing up for myself or drawing a boundary. And my old boss used to say that great leaders understand that uncomfortable conversations are necessary to move yourself forward, move a company forward, move a team forward. And what I have done to become comfortable being uncomfortable is exposure therapy. So, although I get really anxious before difficult conversations, I still have them and I really try not to avoid them. And although public speaking does make me nervous, occasionally it's gotten a lot easier. But I used to be so anxious to speak publicly. And now I'm anxious depending on what the topic is and whether I'm alone or on a panel, and a lot of that has just been due to exposure therapy, and so I hope to continue that. Um, but it is a goal that I have every year when I think about, reflecting on this past year and heading into a new year. I'm always thinking about, getting comfortable being uncomfortable, and I think that will probably be a lifelong goal for me, but you know what? One day at a time. Okay, so this is more of a tangible goal, but I'm more manifesting. I really want to MC an event this year, and I am not the best public speaker. I still say like and all the time, and I'm probably not the best choice for an MC. I shouldn't say that, all right? I'm a badass. I can do anything. But I really do. Like, my dream one day is to MC a really big event, and I hope to improve my public speaking skills, which is goal number 5, actually. But goal number 4 is to MC an event, and last year, I MC'd the new member and first-time attendee reception at Verma, and it was so fun. There were probably 250 attendees, which was really cool, and I actually find that I am significantly less nervous if I don't have, like, a script or things that I have to make sure that I'm saying, and it just kind of was mine to do what I wanted to with it. I had, like, a couple things that I needed to say, but more than anything, it was about keeping the energy alive, and it was so much fun, and I wanna do something like that again, but, like, on a bigger scale. So, if you have an event and you need an MC or you're a part of organizing an event, hit me up because that is one of my goals. Okay, so improve my public speaking skills. So this is just a skill that I want to have in life in general. And like I told you, I've gotten nervous public speaking, and it's still something that I struggle a little bit with, just kind of depending on the situation. But I know that I can improve my public speaking skills. And I watch people like a Will Gadara on stage, and I think, like, damn, I want to have your level of skill when speaking publicly. Like, it is truly something at this point in my career that I enjoy, and I get such an adrenaline rush from it. And so I just want to be better at it. It is a skill that I like. And so I don't know. I was looking into some masterclass options, and I've even talked about or thought about getting a coach. But if you have any ideas, let me know. That is goal number 5. Okay. Goal number 6 is to, and this is exactly how I wrote it out. And you're going to be like, how does this make sense? So I said that I wanted to make sure the people that mean the most to me know that as often as possible. So, what I mean by this is all the people in my life that mean a whole lot to me, I just want to make sure that they know how much they mean to me as often as they possibly can. And I think about people in the industry like Corinne Oki from Breezeway, who is incredible and such a great friend. She sent me a card when I got engaged, and she sent me a 2 handkerchiefs. I was trying to think of the word, 2 handkerchiefs for my dogs for our wedding, and she remembered that I had 2 dogs and thought to send me something just to say congratulations on your engagement. And I think about people in the industry like Corinne, and I know that Rachel does this as well and often sends people books that make her think and make her think about them, and she thinks that could help other people. And she sent fur blankets to people this year, right? Like, she is a type of person who, and Corinne is too, and there are so many other people in our industry who make the people that are important to them known. And they celebrate them, and I really wanna do more of that in 2025. I think it is so incredibly important and special, and we just have such a cool industry, and I wanna celebrate that more, and I think I've done a really bad job of that this year because I've been so busy with my wedding. And now that that's over, I hope to do a lot of celebrating the people that mean a lot to me. And not just industry friends, but just friends in general and family too. And also, like, I love getting things in the mail, so I wanna be better at sending people things in the mail. So if you go to your mailbox and you get something from me soon, that is one of my goals for 2025. Hold me accountable. Okay. Number 7. I loved this. Okay. So I read about this and it is so good. It is the practice of ruthlessly prioritizing. And I think that that is so freaking good. I am so bad at prioritizing. And I will put smaller things off and then I'll let my list pile up. I like find myself, I always joke that I can do really hard things, but I really struggle with easy things. So, like, I can lead a company through significant change. I can terminate somebody even though it freaks me out, it makes me so upset, but I can't, like, return something that I got from the store that I don't want anymore, right? Hard things I can do. Easy things I cannot bring myself to do. So, I really wanna ruthlessly prioritize in 2025, and I think that I struggle because I try to do all these fancy to-do lists, like, I'll use monday.com, I'll use Trello, I'll use this, that, and the other, and what I have found is that I am more productive if I just keep a notebook and write the things down that I need to do. Like, projects, obviously, of course, I need more of a task manager, but, like, if it is a couple of things, call blank, then I can write it down. So, I'm bringing this practice into 2025, and I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to execute it yet, but I still have a little while because for me, it is not December 31st. All right. So, I've got a little bit of time. But by the time I am listening to this, I won't listen to this because the sound of my own voice makes me cringe. But by the time you are listening to this, I will have a plan and I will let you know. And on to the next one, learn a new skill. Y'all, I am dying to learn a new skill because it is something that I have done over the past couple of years. And so when I first moved to Jackson in 2022, I went whitewater rafting, had never done that before. My now husband has a raft. And so he taught me how to paddle and taught me about the river and just things that I had never learned before growing up around the Gulf of Mexico. And I also learned how to snowboard, which was one of the hardest things that I'd ever had to learn. And then I learned how to podcast, and I have learned going back to public speaking. Like, I have taken more speaking opportunities in the last 18 months than I have in the last 10 years of my career. And so I have just, like, so much enjoyed these learning opportunities over the last couple of years. And I really hope, I'd love to learn a new career skill and a new, like, life skill in 2025. And last year I learned megaformer, which is a type of reformer Pilates, and that has been something I've done like 4 or 5 days a week over the last, it'll be a year in January, and I have absolutely loved it. It's kept me sane and kept me in shape, and it has been so fun to do, like, rain, shine, snow, sleet, hail, it doesn't matter. I love my megaformer classes, and I've met a lot of fun friends there. So I don't know. I'll keep you posted on what it is. It's probably not going to be something too crazy, but it's going to be something. My next goal, I admittedly have really struggled with feeling like I've been in a bit of a rut, ambition-wise or motivation-wise, I guess I should say, and it's hard to admit that as someone who really prides themselves on being a leader who is just super, super attached to their career, and for a long time, my career has been one of the main aspects of my identity, right or wrong, and I don't know, I think that I don't know if it was burnout or just, like, a lack of fulfillment for whatever reason, or life, I don't know, or, like, hitting the 10-year mark in my career, I have really struggled to find motivation, and I think that that's normal to some extent, but it has been really hard for me because it's impacted me personally, because so much of my happiness is tied to, like, wanting to wake up and go freaking crush it in the morning, and, I'm used to, like, putting my feet on the ground and going to sit at my desk and thinking like, "Okay, what can we accomplish today?" I'm really hopeful and excited, and I really wanna find my motivation again, and I really want to find this, like, ambition that I used to have. I was so hungry for learning and opportunity and growth, and all of those things are still, like, within me and still important to me, but I think I lost it for a sec, and so I'm gonna bring it back in 2025. It's gonna be a new me. I'm gonna be ready to go get it, and yeah, that is my plan for 2025. That's 9 goals. I will probably be adding more, and I will keep you updated, but what I wanna say too is I think the end of the year can feel like a lot of pressure to restart and be a new you in 2025, and January comes around and you got to get back in the gym and you got to do this, that, and the other before summer and have all these goals and plans, and the business is changing so much too, right? You're developing your plans for your business and you're working on budgets and all these things, and that can come with a lot of pressure, but I encourage you to find the excitement in a fresh start. I think everybody deserves a fresh start, and what a better time to have one than in the new year. And I hope that your holidays so far have been filled with some relaxation and reflection and some calm, some silent nights. Thankful for, like, a million things this past year. I This has been truly, like, the greatest year of my life. I got married and I got to spend another year in the house that we love so much, and got to see my dogs grow another year older, and myself and Clark another year older, and got to see our family so much, which is really hard for us to live across the country from the majority of our family. And a lot of new things are coming in 2025 that I will be able to share with you very, very soon. I am so excited for what's ahead. I can't wait to talk about it, but just know that I'm gonna be doing some big things next year, and I can't wait to talk to you all about it, and for next year on Workflows and Espressos. I know this has been a short episode, but what are you doing? It's New Year's Eve. Go hang out, all right? Go drink a glass of champagne or sparkling water, whatever your thing is, and Happy New Year to you. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next year. Bye.